some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. They not double up or get none of their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted. So I'm 10 to 1 if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke. I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious.
What's going on, drivers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper, and I am your boy. I'm Old Snapper. As y'all can see here, we got an article by CDL Live. 2.1 million worth of cocaine found in hidden floor of flatbed trailer. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how often this happens. We're going to talk about the disadvantages to doing this. Sometimes drivers get approached with this kind of stuff. We're going to get into all that right here. So y'all hang tight. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We do everything here trucking related, trucking news, vlogs, things on the road, tips and tricks, pretty much you name it, anything trucking related. All right, let's get into this article. 2.1 million worth of cocaine found in hidden floor of a flatbed trailer. That's a picture of the cocaine there. Officials with U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, recently discovered millions of dollars worth of drugs secreted in a semi-trailer loaded with rocks. The drug seizure occurred on April 12th at the Del Rio International Bridge located in Del Rio, Texas. That's down in the valley. For those of y'all that don't know, that's down in the valley. CBP officers selected a tractor trailer transporting a shipment of rocks into the United States for a secondary inspection using a K9 unit and non-intrusive inspection system. CBP says the officers discovered 63 packages containing a total of 163 pounds of cocaine hidden in the floor of a semi-trailer. The estimated street value of the cocaine is $2.1 million. The cocaine was seized by CBP. The case was handed over to Homeland Security Investigations for additional investigation. Our CBP officers have been doing an outstanding work and are committed to preventing these dangerous drugs from entering the country, said Port Director Liliana Flores, Del Rio Port of Entry. This interception is a fine example of the work they do to protect our communities. And that's all they talked about right there, because it's an ongoing investigation, I'm sure. All right, now, it doesn't say whether this was an American, a Mexico truck. More than likely, it's probably a Mexico truck coming in, more than likely. Now, as an American, do drivers get approached to haul illegal immigrants or narcotics? Sometimes, especially if you deliver in the border cities. You may be parked at the truck stop. You may get to know somebody. Somebody will seem friendly. You got to be really cautious of that, because normally when they're friendly, they want something. Normally they're going to want something, and that's just how it is, right? Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Well, you take this right here. This is 2.1 million worth of cocaine. A U.S. driver transporting that within the United States, it's probably going to be somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 paid to the driver. You got to remember, there's a lot of people that got to get paid along the way. In this situation here, they probably had Border Patrol paid off, but sometimes it just works out where they hit the wrong agent at the wrong time, and that's why they get caught. So they end up losing money there. But there's a lot of people that got to get paid in the process. That's the only advantage to it, is the money. There's a ton of disadvantages to this, drivers. And if you're a new driver, if you're a young driver out there, and you get approached by one of these guys and think you're going to make a quick $20,000, $30,000 and that's going to be it, there's a little bit more to it than that. And please hear me out. Before you do this, please listen to what I got to say. It's not worth it. And here's why. Number one, they're not going to let you transport narcotics, especially millions of dollars worth of narcotics. They're not going to let you transport $100,000 worth of narcotics, which is only going to pay you probably anywhere between $5,000 and $7,000. They're not even going to let you transport that without first knowing everything there is to know about you. They're going to know who your kids are. They're going to know who your mom is, who your dad is, who your cousins are. They're going to know every single thing about you. And they're not going to tell you they know all these things. They're just going to know all these things about you. Where you live, where you hang out, your favorite bar. They're going to know everything. The reason for that is if you disappear with the drugs, well, they want that leverage so they can get their money back. Or get you, whichever. The other thing is if you get caught, they're going to use knowing your family. You're going to get messages while you're sitting in the county jail to let you know if you talk, your kid dies. And these people don't have no moral turpitude. You know, it doesn't matter to them if it's a 7-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid. It doesn't matter to them. They don't live by the same morals that some people live by. So you're literally putting your kids at risk, your whole family at risk, by doing something like this. And a lot of these guys don't even care if they get caught. You can look this up. You can Google this. I think it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe a little longer. But down on Texas border, I think it was Laredo on the Mexico side. But they elected a new chief of police. The chief of police announced that he was going to get hard on drug crime and work harder on stopping drugs from crossing the United States and stopping guns and money from crossing back into Mexico. I think it was within 6 or 7 hours they pulled up and gunned him down in his front yard. Literally, just gunned him down in his front yard. They have no care in the world. I was down in Mexico one time and they had a grocery store blocked off. The cartel had gone in the grocery store and they just went to shooting. They went shooting everybody. And they were after 1 or 2 people that were in that grocery store. They don't care who they hurt in the process. So taking out your kids or your grandkids or whatever is not going to matter to them at all. Not one slightest bit. Here's the other thing. They normally work with organized crime within the United States. So even if they themselves cannot get to you, they'll pay one of the organizations here in the United States normally to go get you. Get your kids, get your family, or whatever. Here's the other problem that goes along with that. Let's say you do it and you're successful. And you say, well, I'm just going to do this once and that's it. It's a one-way door. Once you do it once, you got to do it twice. They're not going to let you back off of it. One, because you know somebody. You know too much. They don't want you to talk about it later. And they need that leverage over your head. So it's not a one-way ticket. It's not a one-time deal. They're going to continually bug you. They're going to continually use you. Here's the other thing. Sometimes they set up dummy cars. They got one that they plan on getting caught while the big one goes through. You don't know whether you're the regular one or are you the dummy that's about to get busted with a bunch of, with nothing, So you don't know. You don't know how much you're hauling. They don't tell you all that. You're not going to have a whole lot of information at all. You're just going to have a place you go and people are going to come get whatever it is from you. You may leave your trailer somewhere, leave your truck somewhere, and then they're going to come get it. Here's the other thing. Let's say you decide you do this and you do this a few times. Once they use you up and they figure you know too much, well, now you're a liability. So you're probably going to come up missing. You're probably going to get killed. There's no real advantage to doing this. This is one of the reasons that I myself would have a hard time owning a trucking company, because you have to entrust drivers not to do stupid things like this. Because this right here, it's stupid. It's bad. It's bad for everybody involved. I've never been approached with hauling narcotics, but like 10 years ago, I think it was, maybe 9, I was in Laredo. I was working for Stevens Transport, and I was sitting in a parking lot, and these 2 girls walked by. Beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And I was watching them go by as a normal male would do. I'm watching these 2 girls go by. They walk towards the store, and a car pulls up almost instantly. When this car is a Hispanic male, and he asked me if I know Spanish, I tell him poquito no más. It's just a little bit, no more, just a little bit. So he talks to me in English. He says, hey, my 2 friends here and a couple of their friends need a ride up to San Antonio. And I said, no, I can't take passengers. I can't, I gave him that excuse. And he didn't push it past that point. All right. What he was doing was he was testing the waters. All right. My 2 friends and a couple other people. It either would have turned into a whole trailer load of people, or it would have been them and a couple of people, and then there would have been more later. You see that it opens up to more problems. So watch yourself, drivers. Don't get involved in this stuff. Stay away from these problems. No sense in putting your career at risk for a little bit of money. Faster money comes, the faster it goes. Always remember that. But that's this deal here. 2.1 million worth of cocaine. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's family's probably being held today, and somebody's probably going to prison for a real long time. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Stay away from these drugs. Stay away from these problems. It's not worth risking your career for, and not worth risking your family for. And y'all keep trucking.
Please call the medic. This beat came to me on a stretcher. In the lab, I step to the mic and feel like I'm Dexter. I'm a man, dark world, but I'm still shining like treasure. Yeah, I got joy like ha ha ha. Wait, and I can't wear smiles, that's fake. Then I'm between love and strong. Hey, clock says no time for mistakes. Ring the alarm, sirens go off, but I'm calm. My life resides in his palm. Submit to my pops, respect for my mom. Honor them both, so my life will be long. Third time, hit the charm of the third strike, had to.